Okay, let's continue our conversation with the deferred annuity case. What is a deferred annuity? Well, sometimes payments don't start at the beginning of the period. They can start 3 years from now, 4 years from now. And also, sometimes the amounts received every year are not equal. So, we have to make some more adjustments to our calculations here. When we have not every situation involves single amount annuity, different amounts, and sometimes payments start later. So let's see a case here. In this case, we have this type of contract assumes payments each year for a 3-year period. It is each year, but because the amounts are not equal, we cannot use appendixes for annuity. So in this case, if the amounts are not equal, we have to calculate the present value for each amount individually and then add up the total amount. So when we calculate present value for each of these values, we are going to use Appendix B, because that's the one with present value of one sum. So we are going to have each amount discounted back to present for an 8% discount rate. So here we have Appendix B, n equals 1, interest rate 8%, this amount. Here we have Appendix B, n equals 2, interest rate 8%. And the same here, n equals 3, interest rate 8%. And let's check out these numbers here. Appendix B, n equals 1, interest rate 8%. We have to see these numbers. You see, those are the numbers, 926, 857, 794. See? And then we calculate present value for each sum, and total present value of these payments is going to be 5,022. So keep that in mind. That's going to be useful for the next calculations. And sometimes there are more complicated contracts in which annuity is paid sometimes in the future, not right away. And we have to make more adjustments for this type of payments. This is why it's called deferred annuity. So let's see how the problem is stated here. So we have, assuming a contract involving patterns of different amounts each year. That's the first part that we already calculated. Years 1 to 3, we calculated present value of each of these three sums and then added up. But then starting year 4, the annuity of 1,000 is going to be paid at the end of each year, from 4th year through 8th year. So starting here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Annuity of 1,000. And because it's the same annuity, we can use appendix the appendix for annuity for present value, which is Appendix D. Present value of this $1,000 for 5 years. So we go in Appendix D, n equals 5, because they are 5 years. Interest rate is 8%. And the present value of that's going to be 1,000 times Appendix D. Let's see what's the number there. Appendix D, n equals 5, interest rate 8%. 3.993 times 1,000. So that's going to be 3,993. Okay, that's the present value of all these 1,000 payments discounted for 5 years. But the problem is here we are not done, because those payments only start year 4th. So now what we are going to do, one more step, we are going to discount this amount that we just calculated back 3 periods. And that's going to be using Appendix B this time, present value of, because this is just one sum. We discounted back 3 periods. So now we go in Appendix B. This is going to be Appendix B. And that's going to be below. So we know it doesn't refer to the previous one. Below. So we take this amount, 3,993, go in Appendix B and find n equals 3 periods, interest rate 8%. And let's see what we have. Appendix B, n equals 3, interest rate 8%, 0.794. And we are going to multiply this factor times 3,993, see, and we are going to end up with this amount, 3,170. So that was just to do, it was two-step process. One, present value of 1,000, 5 years Appendix D annuity, and then whatever we calculated, that's the result. We discounted back 3 more periods using Appendix B this time. So now to finalize this problem, see, we have 3,170. To finalize this problem, remember the original contract was, if we go back, you see, had 2 parts. One was this one, present value 5,022, we already calculated. And then what we did, two-step process, was 5-year annuity calculation. So we are going to add up the final result for this one to 5,000 to find present value for the total contract here. See? So that was the second value here. So we have to add up this amount to the 5,000 that we had before. So total present value is 8,192 for the whole contract. We are going to do some more applications in a separate recording on the deferred annuity.